welcome to Lynn's Recipes. Today I'm going to make stuffed acorn squash. The amounts of the ingredients that you're going to need for this recipe will be listed in the information box below, or you can find it on my website. I'm cutting this recipe in half for demonstration purposes. The ingredients are: you'll need acorn squash, and I've cut this in half and cleaned out the seeds, and I also put a little slit on the bottom here so it'll stand up without falling over in the casserole dish. You'll need pork sausage, and I have maple flavored because we're going to use some maple syrup in this recipe. You'll need a chopped apple, onion, pecans that are chopped, dried thyme. You'll need raisins, dried cranberries, and maple syrup. You'll also need a sprayed casserole dish. You'll need a piece of aluminum foil, and you'll need to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. We're going to start by baking the squash. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn them over and put the cut side down in our dish. Cover this with foil. And I'm going to put this in my oven at 350 degrees for 45 or 50 minutes, or until when I put a fork or a knife in it, it's tender. I'm going to start the filling for the acorn squash by browning my sausage. So I'm putting that in a skillet, and I'm going to break it up, and we're going to cook it until it's brown. And if I need to drain it, I'll do that before I move on to the next ingredients. Okay, now I'm going to add my onion and the apple, the raisins and the dried cranberries, and the thyme. I'm going to stir this, and we're going to just let this cook until the apples are tender. The stuffing for my squash is done, so now what I'm going to do is just put the pecans in and stir them up. Make sure they're all throughout the stuffing. And now what I'm going to do is set this aside, and when the squash is ready, we'll proceed on with the recipe. My squash cooked for about 50 minutes, and what I've done is I've taken it out of the oven, I uncovered it, and I flipped it over, and I checked it with a fork to make sure that it was tender, and as you can see, it is. So now it's time to put the stuffing in. So what we're going to do is simply put the stuffing that we made before in the cavity of the squash, equally distributing it. Almost done. And now I'm going to take the maple syrup, and I'm going to drizzle it on top of the stuffing and the squash. And now we're going to put this back in the oven for about 15 minutes for the stuffing to get warm. I just took my squash out of the oven. It cooked for another 15 minutes, and this is what it looks like. And I'm going to put it on a tray. So this is stuffed acorn squash. I hope you enjoy it.